Beyblade UX has been officially revealed. There's a bunch of stuff to look at. It's a huge news day. And say goodbye to your wallets. Beyblade UX is the secondary lineup to Beyblade X, and over the last month or two, we've only seen little teasers and silhouettes until today. And the first bay we're gonna look at is DranBuster. There's so much to unpack, there's so much to look at. I mean, let's look at the middle portion. You see the gear chip design looks amazing. Easily the best one in the whole Dran lineup so far, with its kind of open mouth, breathing fire. It just looks really cool. Hit that like button. We're gonna try and hit 1,000 likes on this video, and hit subscribe to join the Nook Nation to help us hit our goal of 400,000 subs. I think we're pretty close. And something else you probably noticed around the gear chip is that the metal prongs are gone. The areas where you kind of connect your launcher, that's now fully plastic, and it also looks to be a little bit more flush as well. I think that removing the metal prongs makes the bay look a little bit more unique, a little bit more colorful, which some people may like, but because it's gone, I don't see the plastic chip covering the gear chip design anymore. I really like that a lot in Beyblade X. It looked kind of unique and also protected that gear chip sticker. It doesn't look like it's there anymore. I have seen some pictures that makes me think that there's kind of like a screen protector like thing going on, or it's like a thick plastic sticker. This is gonna get scratched up. But moving on to the rest of the bay, it has that Dran dagger and Dran sword design just stepped up a notch, and it looks really good. It looks really aggressive. It's going to be one of those boom or bust Beyblades, I think. It's really sharp. And this is also the bay that we saw in that silhouette teaser. All of these UX bays are coming out March 30th. So we have about a month and a half to wait. So if you want to look at them now and pre-order them now, definitely go and check out Mall of Toys. They'll have pre-orders for all this stuff up really soon. And if they don't, maybe look at Unicorn Sting or Phoenix Swing, Dran Dagger. Any of the X bays are great. But go and check them out, links in the description down below. And whenever pre-orders are up for UX, definitely look into that because I'm sure they may sell out. Also, use code ilinnuc for 5% off of your purchase. And moving on to the rest of the parts, for the ratchet, we have 160, which we don't have a great picture of. It looks to be a little bit larger, and if you look at the picture of DranBuster, it looks like it has kind of one central point right underneath the Buster sword. And for the final piece, we have the bit, which is A, which we don't have a full name confirmation yet. It could mean maybe assault or accelerate even. That'd be pretty interesting. And this one is going to be pretty similar to flat, except it's a little bit on the chunky side because it has 16 teeth. 12 is the normal amount. I think we had 8 on Rush. Now we have 16. I'll take that gimmick. DranBuster is insane, and I cannot wait to see it in action, although it is not my favorite UX bay. That's going to go to the next one, which is HellsHammer. This is the follow-up to Hell's Scythe and Hell's Chain, although it definitely has a little bit of a different design idea going on. I don't know, DranBuster looked pretty similar to Dagger and Sword, but Hammer here looks pretty unique. But the design on this bay is crazy. It has that 3-bladed design like we've seen before, kind of drawing inspiration from Strike Hawk or Phoenix Feather a little bit, but it has that kind of red core design in the middle because the metal prongs were removed. We also see a little bit of like orange plastic on the outer edges of the bay, which we don't really have with Buster or the other bay we're going to talk about. A little bit of a spoiler. The design here just looks really futuristic, and it looks different enough from its previous releases where it looks like a true evolution, when DranBuster, which looks amazing, looks like, you know, a bit of an upgrade. The HellsHammer looks like something completely different. I really like the colors here too. It's not just red or kind of like a red and pink like we got with Hell's Chain. It's a red and orange. So it looks really nice. Moving on to the parts, we have the ratchet, which is 370. So it's our first ratchet at the 70 height. In between 60 and 80, it's probably going to be pretty similar. And for the bit, we have H, which we don't have a great look at. That's all I got. But moving on to the next bay, in the last core bay in this first UX lineup, we have the upgrade to Wizard, which is WizardRod. Okay, I'm not super sold on the name, but it looks looks okay. It looks pretty interesting. It's definitely my least favorite UX Bay out of the bunch, but Wizard Arrow was my least favorite from the initial Beyblade X line too, so I'm not surprised. But looking at the middle of that bandana yellow-shaped Beyblade, we have the new wizard motif, and this one's pretty interesting. I like it. You kind of see him like pushing out a spell. Not as unique as like him shushing on the original Wizard Arrow, but he's kind of shoving out a spell. I'll take that, it's fine. And the metal on the blade is pretty circular as well, with this sort of 5-bladed fan design. It's just, I don't know, I'm not really super sold on this blade. I'm trying to be hyped for it, but it's just easily my least favorite of the 3. So it's awesome, it's great. It's not my favorite. I think that the parts are the more interesting part of the Beyblade. The blade itself, you know, WizardRod, whatever. But then the ratchet, we have 570. So it's the same heights as 370 on HellsHammer, just with 2 extra little spikes. Not really the craziest thing. But then for the bit, we have DB, which I assume means disc ball. It's definitely the most unique Beyblade X bit that we've gotten so far. How this is going to catch on to the gears still on the stadium, I don't know. But the life after death and the stamina potential for this could be pretty good. Maybe the bay is going to be pretty balanced or stay upright because it has that DB bits. It's weird. It's really weird. But those are the 3 main bays in the UX lineup, starting with DranBuster, then HellsHammer, and finally with WizardRod. WizardRod, who came up with that name? But don't click off, we are not done yet. We also have the UXO4 entry set. Well, I was worried about this entry set whenever we first heard about it through leaks or whatever. I thought maybe they would redesign the stadium, but they didn't, which is good. But in this entry set, we are getting set recolors of WizardRod and 4 DranBuster. So 2 bays, 2 brand new bays is a really good value. But we're also getting a white and orangish stadium. I like the other stadiums we've gotten so far better than this one. This burnt orange color extreme line just isn't really for me. I'll stick with my kind of custom clear and red extreme line, but it's still a good value. And we have some accessories as well. We have a white and black string launcher releasing, which is nice to get more string launchers in some better colors. We have a few already, like a blue, a black, and a red and black, but getting a white one is pretty nice. And looking at launcher grips, we have a couple of those as well. We have a white, black, and blue. Kind of goes with that string launcher pretty well. And we also have a black and red, which goes along with the string launcher that came from Phoenix Wing. So we can have full-on launcher setups now. You're not really limited on your colors as much. But that is pretty much gonna wrap up the news on the pictures that we have, although there is still a few questions. First, what does UX mean? I've heard it to mean unique extreme. Take that for what you will. But one more question that I still have is, what is the identity of this lineup? Typically, during March and April releases, we'd get Season 2 bays or whatever the following season bays are, which is what this feels like, except it's not. We're in the middle of Season 1 of Beyblade X, so what are we going to get for Season 2? Is it going to be UX still? Are we going to get a brand new code system? We're just going to have to wait and see. But that is going to wrap up this video, guys. If you liked it, hit the like button down below, hit subscribe to join the Nook Nation, and let me know what you think about Beyblade UX, and are you going to get any of these bays? I know I am. Thank you guys for watching, have fun, and bay away.